Former Mpumalanga Agriculture MEC Mandla Msibi is expected back in the Nelspruit Magistrates Court for his bail application today. The 45-year-old was allegedly involved in a shooting incident near a popular drinking spot in Mbombela in August. Two ANC members, Sindelo Sipho and Dingane Ngwenya, were killed, while another party member, Sifiso Mpila, was injured. The incident is understood to be related to infighting over the ANC's list processes. Msibi handed himself over to police in Nelspruit on Monday. He was accompanied by his attorney and was subsequently charged with 2 counts of murder and 1 count of attempted murder. Msibi was fired yesterday after being charged with murder. He will now continue as a member of the provincial legislature. For more on this, let's cross to our reporter, Lindokuhle Xulu, who has the latest on the case. Lindo, a lot of support for Msibi yesterday outside court.
Well, Anika, you couldn't have come at a better time to us, because right now that support you are speaking about from yesterday is just arriving, and it seems that these supporters from his Ward 2 in Pinari have since mobilized, because what we are seeing here are many of them arriving. Lingandabambi will show you some of the open, the back open bakkies, the taxis, as well as other vehicles that have since been able to drop many of the supporters. We'll be moving now to come to this side, but what is happening on that side is that there are T-shirts being handed over, and right now this is where the crowd has gathered. They have somewhat brought this place to a standstill, and they have been saying that what they believe is that this is a politically motivated ploy to actually have the disturb some of the things that the MEC wanted, or the former MEC now wanted to achieve. But what we understand in terms of the development is that the ANC has since, in fact, asked the MEC, the former MEC, to step aside in terms of his position in the PEC. He's also been relieved of his duties when it comes to him being the head of elections in the province of Mpumalanga. But the latest development also came from the Premier's office. The Premier's office saying that he has since been relieved of his duties as an MEC. So at the moment, I think it's safe for us to say that Mr. Msibi is now facing these charges. But outside, there is trouble brewing for him. It will be interesting to hear, if he gets that bail, what he has to say about all of this, because his supporters are sure as hell that this is in fact a political ploy to disturb what he wants to do, to politically dismantle him, so that when they head towards a conference, which is after the elections, then he won't have any power. But the latest development we understand at the moment is that while he is in court, he's been ousted in many positions he holds in government. But today we're expecting that he'll be making his bail application. Yesterday his defense attorney presented several statements saying that he wasn't involved in that shooting, but the case was then postponed because of time. So today we're expecting that the state will then be making its case in terms of why is it exactly that Mr. Msibi has been arrested, even though he denies what being involved in that shooting, and also what evidence they have against him. So that's set to happen at around 11 a.m.
Lindo, the crime scene was a Shizinyama in Nelspruit and is said to have its genesis in the ANC list system. Do we know anything more about what happened on that day when Msibi went to go and collect food from that local eating spot?
The only versions of events that we have is of Mnisi's version of events, and some of those that are supporting him in terms of statements and affidavits that have been presented in court. And essentially what they're saying is that Msibi was on his way to that local Shisanyama to get food for PEC members that were busy finalizing a list of candidates for the province of Mpumalanga. They're saying that when the shooting happened outside, he was inside getting the meat, and he was rushed into a VIP room where we understand he was kept there until the shooting subsided outside. He was then whisked away from that crime scene because of fearing for his safety, together with many of the people he was with, including his protector / bodyguard, as well as his PA. So that's the version we have, and I think that is why I'm saying that it is key today in terms of what will be happening inside court, where we will hear the state in terms of what contrary evidence do they have against what Mnisi has said, because according to him, he wasn't even near that particular incident. So we only have his version for now, but on a later stage we'll be getting a version from the state in terms of why they believe that he should in fact be one of the suspects, and he should be charged for the 2 murders as well as 1 attempted murder, which is 1 person who was injured. But interesting to say, Anika, when we spoke to the provincial ANC, Sasekani Manzini, the spokesperson of the ANC in Mpumalanga, she said that she cannot comment when it comes to whether Msibi was in fact on his way to get food for the PEC members, which is quite interesting because this is a direct allegation to say that he was getting food for PEC members, but PEC members represented by Sasekani Manzini basically said that they don't know anything about whether Msibi was going to get food or not. So it will be interesting to hear the state side in terms of what has happened. But I'm hearing a lot of chanta. Anike, I will let you go. Lingandabambi will show you there are 2 groups, one coming from that side and one coming from behind me. But this is essentially looks like a beefed up support from Msibi, despite the fact that he's now since been relieved of his duties. There are those that have come to support him, and I can tell you from yesterday the numbers have certainly increased. It will be interesting also to hear from the supporters what they think of the latest developments of him being ousted in government.
All right, Lindo, that certainly looks like an impressive crowd there, especially considering it was fairly small yesterday. We'll keep in touch with you throughout the day on the outcome of that bail application. Thank you.